I declare the May 2019 commencement of the State University of New York Polytechnic Institute to be in session.
Good morning and welcome. I'm Mary Beth Lyons, Vice President for Student Affairs and Enrollment Management at SUNY Poly. Please remain standing for the national anthem. The national anthem will be performed by Donovan Sugatan of Clifton Park, New York, a sophomore majoring in accounting and business administration.
Say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated. I ask that members of the platform parties stand and remain standing as they are introduced. Please hold your applause until all are recognized. Dr. Ronald Sarner, Mace Bearer. Ms. Mary Kate Rolfe, SUNY Poly alumna, class of 2007 and 2008. Mr. Anthony Viscusi, student representative to the College Council. Mr. Tucker Mogren, student government president. Mr. David Abbott, student government vice president. Dr. Zora Tomova, co-chair of the Governance Council. Dr. Linda Weber, chair of Faculty Assembly. Dr. Andrew Russell, dean of the College of Arts and Sciences. Dr. Arthur Liu, dean of the College of Business Management. Dr. Andrew Wolf, dean of the College of Engineering. Dr. Kathleen Rourke, dean of the College of Health Science. Ms. Megan Getman, registrar. Dr. Stephen Schneider, provost. Dr. Donald Hanson, chair of the College Council. Colonel Timothy Lawrence, commencement speaker. Dr. Grace Wong, president. Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, I have the honor of presenting to you Dr. Grace Wong, President of SUNY Polytechnic Institute.
Good morning. Congratulations to all of our graduating students. Aren't you excited? Today is a significant milestone, recognizing your academic achievements and the beginning of your new exciting pathways forward. I would like to extend a very warm welcome to all family, friends, and also SUNY Poly's outstanding faculty and staff members. Thank you very much for joining us today. A very special welcome to our keynote speaker, Colonel Timothy Lawrence, and his lovely wife, Deanna. Thank you for being here. This is an exciting time for you. As we look toward a bright future, I hope you will take a moment to reflect on your time at SUNY Poly over the last several years. From innovative classes to hands-on learning experience, from athletics to community outreach opportunities, the knowledge and the skills you have gained will undoubtedly prepare you for a future full of possibilities. As you move forward, well, thank you guys. As you move forward, so does SUNY Poly. In fact, just this year in 2019, the U.S. News and World Report ranked SUNY Poly as number 11 best value school in the country. And that speaks of the value and the quality of the education SUNY Poly offers. In the last academic year alone, SUNY Poly has established seamless transfer pathways with 3 community colleges, and we formed an innovative partnership with Albany Law School to provide our students with learning experience at the interface of technologies and law. And we also announced a partnership with Rome Hospital to provide educational opportunities to their nurses. And these collaborations also extend to the industry. We have established exciting partnerships with technology leaders such as IBM and Applied Materials. We also formed a very exciting partnership with Air Force Research Labs' Information Directorate, focusing on quantum information science and engineering and artificial intelligence. And just earlier this week, SUNY Board of Trustees has unanimously approved to recommend a Doctor of Nurse Practitioner degree for SUNY Poly, and we expect to offer that degree in 2020. Yeah, thank you. We are very, very excited. Yeah. And also this week, we have just broken the ground to build a beautiful zero-night carbon-certified new residence hall right here at our Utica campus. Well, thank you. There has no doubt to be a very happy week at SUNY Poly. So as you start to embark on a new journey, I encourage you to reach for more, do more, and become more. So when I was in my early 20s, I dreamed about coming to the United States to pursue my graduate education. So my parents wondered if that would be a good idea for me to leave the comfortable life at home and come to a land that I did not know a single person. So I remember I said to them, if I stayed at home, I will know almost exactly where I will be 5 years from today. But if I go to the United States and seek the best education, the opportunities I may have, it would be really hard for me to imagine where I will be 5 years from today. So if I stayed at home, I would not be challenged. But by taking this journey, my opportunities and possibilities could be beyond even my imagination. And today, as I reflect on my own journey, and also your journey during your time here at the SUNY Poly, I realize being out of your comfort zone is not a risk in life. A real risk in life is not reaching for more. And armed with an ability to adapt and valuable knowledge in your chosen field, and with your brand new SUNY Poly degree, I hope you will continue to reach for more and explore all the exciting possibilities ahead. Over my time here at the SUNY Poly, it has been a privilege to get to know many of SUNY Poly's outstanding students. And one of them is your own classmate, Anthony Viscusi. He has graciously agreed for me to share his story with you today. So when Anthony first applied for SUNY Poly, he was denied. But he tried and tried. He was very persistent. He eventually was admitted to SUNY Poly. And even at the very beginning, it was not an easy journey. He struggled academically during his first semester, and it became clear that he must change. And the good thing is, Anthony knows that this was his dream, and it was up to him to make it right. And thanks to the mentoring and advice from many of our faculty members, particularly Professor Dan Benicasa, Anthony made that change, and he thrived academically. And just last month, he accepted a job offer as a security applications engineer at Day Automation Systems. And when he told his parents about his academic accomplishments and his new job offer, he told me that the three of them could not even speak. They just sat together and filled with tears of joy. And now, that is the power of perseverance. Your SUNY Poly education is a lifelong foundation to enabling you to pursue your dreams, a future now within your grasp, and it's up to you to make it happen. And just last month, a team of SUNY Poly students, mentored by Professor Joe Zhou, won first place at the Creative Symposium hosted by the New York State Industry for the Disabled, Inc. Yes, they deserve applause. So our students engineered a device that simultaneously removes plastic rings from around 6 packs of cans in a box more efficiently, and that's particularly beneficial for people with disabilities. So I was wondering, how did they come up with the idea? Because usually we don't think about how to remove plastic rings from a pack of 6 cans of 6 packs of cans. So they said they visited a manufacturing facility and observed in real life this was a real problem that's in need of real solution. It was as simple as that. With the new perspectives, they open the new possibilities. And some of you probably know that we as a nation, we put man on the moon before we put wheels on the luggages. Which is true. So what that tells us is frequently is not about what we can do, is about what we are able to see. So in your life, I'm confident that you will achieve many accomplishments in many years to come. So always keep an open mind, see the world in new ways. But remember, none of you can do it alone. I remember my former thesis advisor. He was exceedingly tough on me. He set a very high bar. And so I had to work really, really hard. And it seems like he's always not happy with it, and he continued to set higher bars. And so I safely concluded that he simply did not like me. But one thing I did know, even back then, was I learned a lot more from him, more than from anybody else during my academic career. And years after I graduated, one time when I was talking to him, I asked him, I said, why? You seemed to be particularly tough on me. And he was totally surprised. He said he didn't recall anything like that. The only thing he recalled was he was always confident that I was able to do more. And today, I look back and know I was very fortunate to have someone like him in my career who challenged me to do more. And I'm sure all of you have met people in your life like my former thesis advisor. And I'm sure you met someone here, either a faculty member or a staff member at the SUNY Poly, who have challenged you along the way. So celebrate the people who support you, empower you, and challenge you to do more and become more. And so now, class 2019, I ask you to please rise and give a standing ovation to faculty, staff, and family and friends who have supported, empowered, and challenged you along the way. Thank you. Please be seated. And there are many pathways to success in life and also at work. But here's what I would say to you. Always reach for more. Be determined so that you can do more. See the world in new ways so you will become more. And always celebrate the people who empower you along the way. You will always carry the name of the institution you attended. Carry the SUNY Polytechnic Institute's name with pride as you face every single challenge boldly and enjoy every accomplishment that's yet to come. SUNY Poly's class 2019, congratulations for achieving this significant milestone. I wish you all the success in life and at work. Thank you. It's now my honor and privilege to introduce our keynote speaker, Colonel Timothy Lawrence, the director of the Air Force Research Laboratories Information Directorate in Rome, New York. Colonel Lawrence leads the lab in its mission to explore, prototype, and demonstrate high-impact, game-changing technologies that enable the Air Force and our nation to maintain its superior technical advantage. The lab consists of more than 1,200 military, civilians, and on-site contractors with an annual budget of over $1 billion. A 1988 graduate of U.S. Air Force Academy, Colonel Lawrence received his Master of Science degree from MIT in 1991 and later his doctorate degree from University of Surrey in 1998. Before coming to the Mohawk Valley, Colonel Lawrence led the Department of Astronautics Space Systems Research Center. He also served as Commander and Vice Chancellor of the Air Force Institute of Technology, and later spent 8.5 months in Afghanistan, where he was a mentor of the Afghan Dean of the National Military Academy of Afghanistan. He was the first American to swim the 19 miles from Jersey, United Kingdom to France in 2006, setting a new world record. His PhD research, coupled with swimming the English Channel, led him to be named one of the top 10 outstanding young people of the world in 2001 by the World JCs. And so, ladies and gentlemen, please join me to give a very warm welcome to Colonel Timothy Lawrence.
Dr. Wong, Dr. Hanson, distinguished faculty, family and friends, staff of SUNY Poly, and most important, the graduates. It's indeed my pleasure to be in front of you today. Dr. Wong didn't share, but I'll briefly share with you. We didn't know if we were going to get here. My lovely wife, Deanna, who's sitting there in the front row, her expected due date is Monday for our first child. So for you nursing graduates out there, we may put you in action sooner than you expected. But when Dr. Wong came to me and she said, we'd really like you to be our commencement speaker, I said, what an honor. I would really love to do it, but I'm concerned just with our first child and the date. But at the time, my wife was still overseas, and I called her and she said, Tim, if you think this is important, then let's do it. The only requirement is that I come to the ceremony, just in case something happens, so you're not called away. So anyway, we're here. This address is for the graduates. As Dr. Wong, it says, I've been sitting out there in your same shoes several times. And I wanted to personalize this with just some reflections on things that I've learned, because I'm always about continuous learning. If you don't learn something new every day, then I think you really need to look in the mirror and say, well, how can I learn something new every day? So this is for you, some slight stories I like to share that hopefully motivate you as you go start your wonderful careers. First word I like to share with you is spirit. C.C. Scott said, the human spirit is stronger than anything that can happen to it. And Dr. Wong said to me, just brief, that, yeah, I set a world record. But I had a slow start. When I first got into open water swimming, it was overseas in the UK, and it's a tough sport. It has a very low success rate. And the first 3 times I tried to swim the English Channel, I failed. But applying critical thinking, good engineering and science background, I kept trying to persevere and say, how can I get there? The biggest challenge I found is that I wasn't heavy enough, because for all you heat transfer folks out there, the Brits are all in the tradition. When the first man to swim the channel, his name was Matthew Webb, did it in 1875, he didn't have a wetsuit. So they said, we're going to keep the same standard for everyone that tries to do it again. So I had to swim at the right rate where I could keep my body temperature up and not get hypothermic, because the first 3 attempts I got hypothermic. The first attempt I had swum 28 miles, I was 0.8 miles off, and they yanked me out of the water because I was blue. I was about ready to pass out. So September 4th, 1999, I said, here we go again. And my coach says, this is it, Tim. If you don't make it this time, then I think this is just something, you're not going to do. You need to move on. So we started. The Brits have a sea state. It's force 0 is a dead calm, 6 is a gale force wind. It was a force 4. It was horribly choppy. And I just thought, as I got in the first 2 minutes, I said, I'm not going to make it. I mean, this is rough. I mean, the waves are slapping me in the face. And but I said, this is my last shot. I'm going to just keep going until sunrise, because we started at 2 in the morning. So then the sun came up. I said, well, I'm hanging out here. This isn't bad. A ferry came by, and for those of you that have ever swum next to big boats, it looks like a skyscraper. It came across, and my coach said, start swimming. I'm like, why? Because then the wake hit me, knocked my goggles off, but I recovered, and we kept going. And then as the sun got up to around noon, they came up to me and they said, well, we got a problem. The propeller got caught in a fish net, so you just need to keep swimming. We'll find you. Just keep going, but we don't want you to stop because we know you're going to get cold, and don't worry about it. So as I start swimming, and I know we've all been there, it's like, how did I get myself in this situation? Because I feel like I'm out in the middle of the Atlantic. I can't see anything. But I said, I'm just going to keep going. And so I kept swimming. They eventually caught up. And then about 3/4 through, the sun's starting to set, and just it felt like spaghetti. A tendon in my left shoulder snapped. It just popped. Whoop, sorry about that. So maybe sounded like that. But anyway, it popped. And I couldn't get any pull out of my left arm. But I just said, I can't quit now. I've been in this too long. I got to keep going. So what they did is my pull was so uneven, they just had to put me on the right side of the escort boat. And my coach, she's English, I still will always remember this. She said, to the right, Tim, to the right, because I kept thinking I was going to, hit the boat. And I just thought, how much longer can I keep going? Well, she finally, so it's dark, and she came up to me. She says, Tim, you're 1,500 meters from France. When are you going to start swimming? I thought, gosh, okay. So anyway, I swam. I finished it. It was kind of funny because there was a French couple who were out there. They saw the boat, and, it's not as significant. I mean, channel swimmers, there's usually a few a season, and they were waiting, and then I came in, and they're like, Monsieur, would you like to hold baby, you channel swimmer? And I'm like, if I hold that baby, I'm going to drop it. But anyway, we took the photo, and we moved on. The next word I'd like to share with you is understanding. Leonardo da Vinci says, the noblest pleasure is the joy of understanding. And for me, understanding was best when I could mentor someone else. And that happened when I was in Afghanistan. Yosef, who is the dean of the National Military Academy of Afghanistan, was given the daunting task of how do we create a military academy for all future Afghans. And at that time, it was only the Afghan army because that was the main force. And it was a coalition, and there was a lot of competing requirements. A lot of our coalition partners said, let's just send them to universities in Afghanistan and then just give them 1 year of military training. That's all they need. And all the generals were all behind that because, yeah, military training, that's what we want to do. We want to have them fly. We want them to learn how to shoot artillery. Don't mess around with calculus and differential equations and physics. Who needs that stuff? So I sat with him. I said, if you really want to build the nation, you need to follow the Thayer system, which was the creation of West Point's curriculum. And the Thayer system was you need to provide a foundation to your officers so they can go out and build the future country. And for most of you don't realize, but a lot of the U.S. was built based upon the Corps of Engineers, which arose from the Thayer system that was at West Point. And the Thayer system is that you have to have a foundation in math. You have to have a foundation in physics. You have to have a foundation in electrical engineering. You have to have civil engineering. You need to learn a language. You need to have history. You need to have religion. You need to have philosophy. So there was no degrees. So it was one basic program. And that's what you graduate, so you give your officers the skills to go out and do what they have to do. So that's what we went through. And he said, okay, I'm going to sell that, and that's what we're going to move forward with. And I said, well, that's just the first hurdle. The next hurdle is convincing the faculty to be behind you to do it. And as all good deans know, that's sometimes a challenge. But anyway, the faculty was on board. We went out. We had a mixture of hiring of officers and civilians, and it happened. And we gave them that foundation. And I was fortunate enough, based upon what I had done, that they invited me back for the graduation. So I went back to Kabul. I was there. The first graduates came across the stage, and as I was sitting there, Yosef looked at me and he said, Tim, I now understand. Next word is navigate. And the quote for that is from Helen Keller. The only thing worse than being blind is having sight but no vision. And to share with you is my vision was my PhD. I thought, you know, being at that time, I'd been in the U.S. Air Force for about 7 years, and my department head said, Tim, we want you to go get your doctorate. The great thing about it is you can choose any university in the world you want to go to, but you got to graduate in 3 years. And if you're one day over, you're done, because the Line Air Force is going to bring you back. And so I chose the University of Surrey over in the UK. Part of the reason is I thought if I'm ever going to swim the channel, that's my shot, because I'm going to be over there and I can, you know, train in Dover. So there was a little, I mean, that was 10%, but the big percentage was, at that time, the University of Surrey was the world leader in building small satellites from an academic institution. They had built 11 spacecraft, all at the undergraduate and graduate level. And I thought I would like to learn some of those lessons and bring it back to the U.S. and start doing something at the Air Force Academy, because I was on their faculty at the time. So I thought, what a great opportunity. So I show up and I meet my advisor, and for all of you know, that relationship you have with your advisor will be the one that you'll remember for the rest of your lives. All I can just say now is keep in touch with him or her, because they're always going to care about where you go and what decisions that you make. But my advisor, Sir Martin Sweeting, looked at me and he said, so Tim, what are you going to do? I said, well, I like to do both an experiment and a theoretical model. And he said, really? He said, how much time do you have? I said, 3 years. And he says, you're crazy. But I said, why not? Because at the time I looked at what Surrey was doing, and they had no propulsion on their spacecraft. Most people said it's a small satellite, it's the size of this chair, it doesn't have the power, it's just no way you can do it, not enough volume, you can't do it. And I said, you know, I think we can do it. So I went out and did a big study and found out that we could put a tiny micro resistor on this spacecraft. And so a lot of back and forth, a lot of design, a lot of testing. But all I can say is that in 1998, that satellite was launched. And that thruster lasted for 2 years. And the one thing is that my model was within 1% of its on-orbit performance. And I said, I'll be honest, I was lucky on that. I still don't know how that happened, but it happened, but I'll take credit for it. But anyway, that's kind of, you know, see that vision. You know, I always say to folks, you say, I'm going to set high but achievable goals. Well, how do you really know it's a high goal if it's achievable? So have that vision. You know, sometimes, you know, you may be surprised by, as my coach likes to say, sticking your toe in cold water when no one else wants to, and you'd be amazed at what the outcome is. The last word to share is you. And the quote I have for that is, success is no accident. It is hard work, perseverance, learning, studying, sacrifice, and most of all, love of what you're doing. That's from Pelé, the famous soccer player. And the big thing here is put yourself first. That's one of Diana's favorite quotes that she shares with family and friends. She says, but it doesn't apply to you when you're home. I'm always first. But to talk about you, I'm extremely impressed with this class. Just looking at some of the statistics here, 40% of you have had an internship. 33.2% of you have received a full job offer right now, even before graduation. But I think the most outstanding is that 74% of you have come in here funded with some type of scholarship, which truly says a lot. But if I look at your graduates, and I know you've done wonderful things around the state of New York and in the area, but if I look at the graduates that have just come to the Air Force Research Lab down the road, you have been working on, and this is maybe not the full list, but what I could just dig up: nanotechnology, software-defined radios, 5G technology, UAV swarming, cognitive networking, dynamic spectrum analysis, high-speed RF comm, aerial layer networks, covert comm, directional networks. And then one of the other things is that you had another distinguished grad who came up with the Common Object Request Broker Architecture. This program enabled software packages to be installed in heterogeneous radios without being recompiled for each platform. This technique is the genesis for the App Store framework that are used in all today's cell phones. That came from a SUNY graduate that came to the Air Force Research Lab. And to be encompassing, to enable those great breakthroughs, we also need wonderful support staff. So many of the business, accounting, civil engineering folks that keep the labs up and running have also been SUNY grads that have shined. So as a total team, without SUNY, I can guarantee you that AFRL would not be in the situation that it is today. So my question as I close is, what's your future? I can tell you mine, with the young son coming, ich möchte Deutsch lernen. My wife says we're only going to speak German in the house. So, because I forgot to say my wife's originally German. So, if that kid speaks better German than me, then I'm in trouble. I'm probably going to lose a lot of weight and won't fit in this uniform because I won't be able to know how to order dinner or cook dinner. Well, my question is, where are you going to be? Think about it. Where are you going to be? So with that, I'd like to close. Thank you again. Distinguished pleasure to be here. And I'd like to salute the class of 2019.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Colonel Lawrence, for that very inspirational message to the class 2019. And thank you again, Deanna, for joining us. We just joked that this will be the baby's first graduation ceremony. It was talking about overachievers. And now I'm pleased to introduce the president of the 2019 student government, Tucker Mogren.
Thank you, Dr. Wong, for the warm introduction, and thank you for your leadership this past year. To the class of 2019, congratulations. Your time at SUNY Poly has come to a close, and I hope you have enjoyed your time here. Many of us are finishing up our time at SUNY Poly in the exact same location we started with, the Fieldhouse Gym. The same place we were for Accepted Students Day, Open House, First Year Orientation, and Opening Weekend. Whether you were admitted to SUNY Poly as a first class under the new merger or admitted under SUNY IT, whether you have stuck with the same major or changed directions, whether you were a transfer student or spent all of your time here, or if you had made friends, lost friends, or changed friends, everyone has grown together. I would like to share a few things I've learned throughout my time here at SUNY Poly that I believe are valuable to anyone. Number one, and in my opinion the most important thing, is just be in the present. Bad days come and go, and even if you're in a drought, good days are always around the corner. Number two, take life slowly. I bet it feels like just yesterday you were visiting SUNY Poly for the first time. From here on out, life is taking control and life moves quickly. Cherish the memories you are making now and the opportunities you must explore, because soon you will be settled down and unable to go wherever you please. Number three, make sure you create your own life goals. Without tangible, measurable goals, you cannot move forward in life. Goals allow you to create a roadmap for your life, and you can keep yourself in check and make sure you are fulfilling all your dreams. Having measurable goals allow you to move forward towards your own personal success. Now that we are all graduating, it's important to not fall asleep at the wheel, because life always has a way of hitting you like a big red truck. Be prepared for life's unexpected turns, because everything takes off from here. With these thoughts, I would like to leave you with a quote from U.S. Senator Orion Hatch. There is a reason they call these commencement ceremonies. Graduation is not the end, it is the beginning. Congratulations to the class of 2019. We are about to hit the road running, and I'm confident that SUNY Poly has prepared us well. Thank you, and now I would like to recommend our Student College Council representative, Anthony Viscusi, to present gifts from the class of 2019 and the student government at Utica. Thank you.
Well, good morning, everyone, and thank you, Tucker, for the introduction. I'm proud to announce the class gift of 2019. Our class will be presenting 4 table charging stations for the KN Library, Campus Center, and the Student Center for easy access for charging mobile electronic devices. On top of the charging tables, we are also presenting wireless charging lockers for a commuter lounge, which will provide a safe place to store keys, wallet, and other personal items for the students. The student government at Utica is also proud to present a gift to the campus. I recently had the honor to chair an ad hoc committee to search for an appropriate gift from the student government at Utica. After much discussion yielded no results, I came to the determination that this year's gift should leave a legacy for our campus. I worked with William Spitz, a graduating civil engineering student here at SUNY Poly, Billy right there, to draft a rendering for a permanent digital LED sign to be installed in front of the Student Center. Yes, thank you. This sign will be capable of communicating all events and important communications to students, faculty, and staff in real time, something which will add value to the campus and students for years to come. Thank you, Dr. Wong, faculty, and staff for your leadership and supporting each member of the class of 2019. And on behalf of the graduating students, it is my pleasure to present the gift from the class of 2019 to President Wong.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Class 2019. Thank you, Tucker, and thank you, Anthony, for this great gift that's going to benefit our students for many years to come. It's now my pleasure to honor 5 employees of SUNY Poly who have been singled out for extraordinary recognition by the Chancellor of the State University of New York. For more than 25 years, the SUNY Chancellor has annually acknowledged outstanding performance both in and out of the classrooms by professionals across the university system through a program called the Chancellor's Award for Excellence. And these awards are given to recognize extraordinary professional achievement. I ask that our honorees in attendance come forward as their name is called. And the first awardee is Paul Lewan, plumber steam fitter, for the Chancellor's Award for Excellence in Classified Surveys. The next one is Mary Ono, the College of Arts and Sciences, for the Chancellor's Award for Excellence in Adjunct Teaching. The next one is Michael DiCecco, the Director of Publications, for excellence in professional service. The next one is Dr. Zhangjie Li, Assistant Professor of Civil Engineering, for excellence in scholarship and creative activities. And the last, but absolutely not the least, is Dr. Robert Agel, Professor of Technology Management, for excellence in teaching. On behalf of the college community, I congratulate you as you receive your medallion that will serve as a permanent recognition of your contributions and achievements. And now, candidates for degrees, the moment for which you have labored so long and awaited with anticipation is at hand. I ask the provost to assist in the conferral and the presentation of degrees.
Will all of the bachelor degree candidates please rise? Madam President, all of these candidates have satisfied, subject to confirmation, the requirements for the respective degrees of Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Business Administration, Bachelor of Professional Studies, and Bachelor of Science. Upon recommendation of the faculty, I now present them to you for the conferring of the degree.
Upon recommendation of the faculty, and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the College Council, the Board of the Trustees of the State University of New York, and by the Board of Regents of the University of the State of New York, I confer upon those of you who are found qualified the respective degrees of Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Business Administration, Bachelor of Professional Studies, and Bachelor of Science, with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto.
Please be seated. Candidates are asked to rise when called by academic program and to remain standing until asked to move forward.
Now, please welcome Dr. Andrew Russell, Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences.
Madam President, candidates for the following degrees, please rise. Bachelor of Science with a major in Applied Mathematics. Bachelor of Science with a major in Biology. Bachelor of Science with a major in Communication and Information Design. Bachelor of Science with a major in Interactive Media and Game Design. Bachelor of Arts with a major in Interdisciplinary Studies. Bachelor of Arts with a major in Psychology. Bachelor of Arts with a major in Sociology. Candidates, please move forward to be honored.
Zachary M. Johnson. Olivia Martello. Rachel Ray Agnew. Filippo B. Arcuri. Ruth Marie Barnes. Megan Jean Durgan. Crystal Marie Eaton. Miranda Lynn Esargini. Kylie Alexandra Hadley. Maggie Ann Haslam. Elise Elaine Hazard. Michael Joseph Schneider. Kelsey Louise Scott. Eric Williams Slicher. Specialist Mackenzie Lynn Smalden. Kelsey Ann Stevens. Erica Valderramos. Andrew Tyler Paul Wirtz. Ashley Rose Klumbach. Amira Erdick. Carrietta Shelley Ann Smith. Jessica Nicole Ancelatia. Aaron Frank Gregory. Maria Lukova. Noah McDonald. Napoleon Ute. Robert Lubezhanen. Adine Sanich. Yulia Savalo. Celine Laraquente. Shayna Kylie Fick. Colette Carol Bertrand. Stephanie McCoy. Samantha Marie Henry. Bethany Carolyn Lee. Taylor Alexandra Ron. Shane Andrew Barse. Kelly Ann Photo. Rebecca J. Braunlick. Sydney Johnson. Megan Elizabeth Rose. Alexander P. Heward. Brett Dufour. David Beck. Robert F. Robbins. Okay. Ulawa Damalilo Daniel Alexander Osafasi-san. Rachel Hansen. Marcus Terrell Spratley. I got it. Juan Min Truong. Justin Wayne Converse. Max A. Nadell. Ryan Justin Mahar. Derek M. Smith. Isabel Romero. Austin Miles Lynch. Nancy Wong. Seymour. Michael Christopher Miller. Christian Sposta. Melissa Sue Barber. Jillian Taylor Cristiano. Morgan Elizabeth Weaver.
Please welcome Dr. Arthur Liu, Dean of the College of Business Management.
Madam President, will the candidates for the following degrees please rise? Bachelor of Science in Accounting. Bachelor of Business Administration. And Bachelor of Science in Business Administration. Candidates, please move forward to be honored.
Michaela Lynn Ducharme. Shreya Patel. Constance Michaela Childs. Merba Pimentel. Dale R. Dodge. Kevin Harold Pankow. Stephanie Alta Calhoun. Wendy A. Clark. Tyler Hobeika. Catherine Bernadette Robb. Say it again. Okay. Katie Kathleen Richvalsky. Joseph Ryan Bonanza. Andrew James Serpernat. Dalton Henry. Dennis Kulev, Parker Nab, Jennifer A. Maxim, Michael Johnson, Jennifer Tran, Danielle Faith Zornecki, Santucci, Juliana Grace Santucci, Sarah Elizabeth Armstrong, Ashley Gorecki, Abby Smith, Daniel D. Digert, Lee Harrington, Jeremiah W. Horton, Devin Terrell, Malik Brandon Johnson, congrats, Peyton Jacob Griffiths. You got a crowd? Kevin Ronnie Williams. Noah Garrett. James Blake Hagberg. Jennifer Kennedy. Melody Rose Velasek. Megan Walter. Kento Kuroda. Momosugi Yama. Jacob Thomas Webster. Noah Alexander Jones. Cassandra Mendez. Elvadina Kapik. Emma Vodanovic. Kaylee Feichel. Sydney Alexis McAvoy. Catherine Eileen Brown. Ashley Elizabeth Tutino. Alexandra Marie Bakowitz.
Please welcome Dr. Andrew Wolf, Dean of the College of Engineering.
Madam President, this is going to take a while. Candidates for the following degrees, please rise. Bachelor of Science with a major in Applied Computing. Bachelor of Science with a major in Computer Information Systems. Bachelor of Science with a major in Computer Information Science. Bachelor of Science with a major in Network and Computer Security. Bachelor of Science with a major in Civil Engineering Technology. Bachelor of Science with a major in Computer Engineering Technology. Bachelor of Science with a major in Electrical Engineering Technology. Bachelor of Science with a major in Mechanical Engineering Technology. Bachelor of Science with a major in Electrical and Computer Engineering. Bachelor of Science with a major in Civil Engineering. Bachelor of Science with a major in Mechanical Engineering. Candidates, please move forward to be honored.
Specialist Robert Andrew Cummings. Nicholas Roy Deers. Taryn Connor Fleet. Ryan Patrick Fitzgerald. Nathan Michael Oliva. Zachary Thomas King. Brian C. Kilmer. Apple Asan Wignes Warren. Griffin Philip Clark. Kyle Schaefer. Ryan David Smith. Ryan Matthew Breckenridge. Ryan Hunter Beesmer. Peter Kasha. Marco Batista. Juan S. Ortiz Castano. Jacob A. Parsons. William H. Spitz. Blake Robert Elliott. Kaylee Marie Grasso. Owen George Roberts. Daniel Vernon Garner. Abbas Kazan. David J. Abbott. Tucker Mogren. Anthony Fiorentino Viscusi. Keegan A. Donnelly. Cody Liberati. Ian Joseph Witham. Anthony Michael DeChance. Nathan Dreyer. Thank you. Cole Ford. Benjamin Allange. Jonathan Sobolewski. Rivy? Daniel Juan Rivy. John Christopher DeChambeau. Roj Dosky. Juvan Mercurius. Devlin Michael Rolston. Dakota Launch Strout. Kevin Robert Carroll. Jeremy Zhang. Adam Amazon Karstad. Gerard Joseph Nappy. Dalton Edward Goranchek. Patrick James Bordeaux. Austin Tyler Kornakia. Mackenzie Lynn Ryan. Mohammed Hossein. Christian Camilo Corrales. Matthew Wang. Eric Stephen Cook. Kyle D. Root. Hunter James Fistrovich. Sean Ryan Smith. Dominic James Falzo. Naresh Carroll. Italer Zahn. Riedel Marcus Amin Freeman. Brian Matthew Kelly. Eric Daniel Volavchik. Robert J. Cunningham. Sebastian Panuto. Connor James Schultz. Kyle Adam Mizgala. Daniel S. Levy. Nicholas T. Cotuno. Michael M. Kostakis. Mikhailo Pivorovchuk. Sorry. Giancarlo Cachero. Ryan Michael Geary. Gregory Allen Shuck. Gregory Rudy Rudolph. Kyle D. Saunders. William Norum. Miranda Courtney Egan. Courtney Lynn Amber Dags. Akili Lewis. Cassidy Michelle Eng. Lamik White. Myron Sue. Chris Ramirez. Stephen P. Sevold. Ricardo Dal Armalina. Rufat Hajizada. Lucas William Mallory. Timothy D. Rogers. Brandon Miles Kelbaugh. Nicholas William Von Dahlen. Alex Stewart. John Anthony Sorrentino. Brian Barent. Gerald Wolfe. Ryan Gloff. Alex Michael McGrath. Nikolai Vasil. Joel Michael Truax. Benjamin F. Klinghoffer. James Delta Pelzel. Jacob Aaron Enders. Thank you. Oh. Senior Airman Joseph Basil Margie. David Kelly. Travis Martin Register. Kevin Edward Grant. Jacob E. Catricala. Paul Joseph Bellotto. Benjamin Forrester. Matthew Marlin Ian Okrim. Hello. Christopher Bouchard. Andrew Paul Howd. Caleb Perry. Luke Elijah Krentz. Elias Gayton Sawatsky. Nathaniel Joseph Mitz. Michaela Christine Layden. Lillian Karaka. Nicholas M. Kowalczyk. Alexander Michael Macy. Evan A. Swartout. Ryan Patrick McCarty. Faherty? Okay. Gabriel Michael Faherty. Michael Frederick Marchio. Kevin Patrick O'Neill. Maxwell Richard Zuba. Ryan Patrick Saunders. Daniel Joseph Long. Margaret Helen Matson. Ethan Miles Tracy Mead. Jeremiah James Bessie. Carlos Branco Gutierrez Gil. Hamza 8 Eserghini. Morgan Burton Charles Rolowitz. Thomas John Fucarino. Vincent Matthew Legnato. Sorry? Okay. Hugh Harwood. Miguel Angel Hernandez. Jonathan Gary Hall. Richard Charles Pomichter. Abend. Tristan Abend. Andrew Manili Wichels. Jared Richard Maraca. Jonathan R. Andrews. Christopher John Bertolozzi. Jacob Paul Van Bieber. Dalton John Earl. Jay Kisselstein. Brian J. Estes. Benton C. Stickney. Catherine Elizabeth Smith. Brandon Singh. Benjamin Newworth. Keziah Imani Raleigh. Aaron Christopher Bailey. Anthony John Carroll. Lehman? Trevor James Lehman. Kaiser? Dalton Wayne Kaiser. Hussam Jamil? Hussam M. Jamil. Jeffrey Martin Smith. I know you. Stephen Daniel Ojeda Bretez. Hilder? Gabrielle Elizabeth Hilder. Matthew Jose Guerra. Gary Ken Kong Eng. Pavlik. Stephen Paul Pavlik. Matthew Corey. Stephanie Alexandra G. Jason Hermida. Cassandra Kathleen Shea. Mohammed Singate. Nicholas Ryan Del Martino. Shannon Marie Merchant. Ethan Philip McGowan. Ashley Joy Paw. Daniel Coletta. Jake R. Reynolds. William Brian Petraw. Matthew Mercado. John Andrew Trojnar. Andrew Edward Nakalik. Jesse Thomas Chain. Joseph John Epic. Nathaniel Battisti. Jacob Frank Hill. Dylan Butler. Andrew Vos. Paul M. James. Liam Walsh. Jeffrey David Clemishaw. Ezra J. Neal. Giuseppe McBride. The third? Second. Jeffrey Crippen II.
Hey, Beth.
Should I introduce you? No, I'm joking.
It is my privilege to welcome Dr. Grace Wong back to the podium to introduce a very special guest.
Well, thank you. Now, I'm very proud to introduce a steadfast advocate of SUNY Polytechnic Institute and also the higher education. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a very warm SUNY Poly welcome to the U.S. Congressman, the Minority Leader, Senator Charles Schumer.
Hey, everybody. Hello, everyone. And first, to the great class of 2019 SUNY Poly, congratulations, you've made it. And you're graduating from one of the best institutions of higher learning in the entire state of New York. So it's a great, great thing. And I'd like to first thank President Wong and Provost Schneider. I want to thank our great Colonel Timothy Lawrence of AFRL for the great job he does for us and for the Mohawk Valley in Utica. As many of you know, my dad was raised in Utica and graduated from UFA. There was no SUNY Poly. But anyway, so first I'd like to announce my class gift. You know, it's hard to pay for college and graduate school. If you're poor, the federal government helps you out. That's a good thing. But what about the middle class? So a few years ago, I wrote a law that said you or your parents, whoever paid for college or graduate school, can take as a full tax credit $2,500 off your federal taxes for every year of college or graduate school. If provided, you know, in Washington there's always a provided your family income is below $200,000 a year. So, if you come from a family that makes below $200,000, make sure you or mom or dad, whoever paid for it, takes that tax credit. You know, about a quarter of the people who are entitled to it every year forget. If you forgot for this year or any of the last 3 years, you can fill out a one-page form with the IRS and get up to $7,500 back. That's not a bad class gift. Now, what happens if you come from a family who makes above $200,000 a year? God bless you. And one final point. We're now working on passing legislation that will reduce the student debt burden after you get out of college. My goal, it's one of my highest priorities, to make sure that no graduate has to devote more than a small percentage of their income every year to repaying the loans, because it's long past time the government tackled that student debt problem, right? Yeah. Now to the moms and dads, I know how you feel. A few short years ago, my wife Iris and I sat where you did, watched our daughter Allison come up on the platform, get her diploma. It was one of the proudest, greatest days of our lives. Now you're going through this, and it's not easy to raise kids. But all that blood, sweat, and tears, all that hard work is worth it today when you see your son or daughter come up, get that diploma, and become an adult before your very eyes. Congratulations to the moms and dads, and a shout out to the moms on Mother's Day. And one little family note, my dad, who I mentioned, was raised here in Utica. My grandpa worked at the doe-skin tissue factory. You young folks won't remember that. Anyone here remember the doe-skin tissue factory? A few, yeah. Anyway, they celebrated, this is just a gift from God that I'd share with you. They celebrated 3 weeks ago their 70th anniversary. So that was a good thing. And one final shout out before I get to as we are sitting here today, there are a lot of young men and women, many from this area in our armed forces, many of them overseas, risking their lives for our freedom and our way of life. Let's have a round of applause for them. Now, to this great class of 2019. So all those late nights in the library, the early mornings in the classroom have earned you a degree from a great institution that trains you for the future. And that's good that you have this degree, because you're graduating in a world that's moving very fast. It's an era of profound economic and social change. In the old days, when you graduated from college, the odds were pretty high you'd have the same job in the same field for 40 years. That's not so true anymore. Many of you will have several jobs, maybe even some of you several careers. Along with those changes, the internet, those are economic changes, but the internet has put so much information at our fingertips, it's sometimes really hard to figure out what's important and to distinguish between what's true and what isn't. All too often, the loudest voices get the most attention. And then other things. A generation ago, we never heard of things like terrorist attacks or mass shootings. Now it feels like every week we hear of a new one. So the world's changing and sometimes a difficult place, but here's the good news. Your generation, and particularly you with your degrees from SUNY Poly, are better equipped than the generations that came before you to adapt to these new changes, to overcome the obstacles they present, and seize the opportunity they afford. Now, right now, sitting in your seats, maybe, you're not so sure of what'll come next. With the world changing so fast, it may feel like you're jumping into an abyss. But graduates, the key is not to fear the unknown. Embrace it, relish it, soak up every possibility it has to offer. How do I know? Well, I remember feeling that way myself, college time. I went to James Madison High School in Brooklyn, New York, as a working-class high school, but then I was lucky enough to get into Harvard. In those days, no one from my background got into Harvard, mostly fancy, well-to-do people from the New England private schools. And I was the son of an exterminator from Brooklyn, long before Brooklyn was cool. So I was scared. I was just scared. And I went to the one fella from my high school who had graduated from Harvard years before me. His name was Red O'Brien. We both played on our school's basketball team. Now, no, don't woo so fast. Our team wasn't very good. You know what our motto was? We may be small, but we're slow. But when I asked Red how to make it at college, he said very matter-of-factly, go try out for the freshman basketball team. They're terrible, just like Madison's team. So you'll make the team, and those will be your friends. So now it's the third week of school, and there are the tryouts, and the coach is having us wear these little numbers. He calls me, number 27, yes, sir. You're Schumer, yes, sir. Oh, you played for Madison, yes, sir. How's Coach so-and-so? He's fine, sir. Then he looks at me quizzically. He said, you played forward? I said, yes, sir. He said, how tall are you? I said, I'm 6'1", sir. He said, can you dribble? I said, that's not my strong suit, sir. He said, go home. He didn't watch me touch a ball. I wrote my mom a note, distraught, said, I told you we never should have gone to this fancy school. I'm coming home tomorrow. I'm coming home on Monday. But as fate, God's hand, would have it, someone knocked on my door that night and said, how would you like to join the Harvard Young Democrats? We're working for a man named Eugene McCarthy, who's trying to end the war in Vietnam. Well, I didn't have a political bone in my body. My dad was a Republican, my mother a Democrat, but I had lost some friends in the Vietnam War, and I was worried about the future of the country I loved so much. And so I said something that changed the course of my life. I shrugged my shoulders when he asked, how would I like to join up? And I said, okay. The next morning, I got on a bus with a group of kids. We went up to New Hampshire, and we were knocking on doors, writing our own leaflets. It was like sports, teamwork. And I loved it. I was bitten by the political bug working on the snowy streets of New Hampshire for an insurgent political campaign. Now, maybe it was luck. I'd like to believe it was God's hand. But in that moment of intense anxiety and uncertainty in the future, I took a leap. I said, okay, to something new and completely different, and it changed my life forever. Thanks to the McCarthy campaign, I realized how much I love politics, how deeply I cared about its impact on people. And, you know, if you studied your history, McCarthy didn't win the primary, but he came so close that the incumbent powerful president, Lyndon Johnson, stepped down after just one term. A ragtag group of students and other assorted nobodies changed the course of the world. I thought to myself, what a system, what a country. I was inspired, and I decided then and there I wanted to dedicate my life to making the world a better place, just as so many of our younger generation is trying to do that today, and thank God for you. So I changed my major from chemistry to politics, went to law school, ran for the state assembly. Against all odds, I won. My mother never thought I would. And the rest, they say, is history. So graduates, on this day of your achievement, this great day, what a great day, my advice to you is to take the risk, follow your passion. For those of us who have gotten older and look back on life, one of the most painful things to think about is the what ifs. What if I had only done that? What if I had only gone there? In life, there's always going to be moments that present you with new opportunities and change the course of things forever. They won't be advertised like that, and no one's going to label them for you when they appear. Sometimes they're as unassuming as just a knock on the door when you're down in the dumps. You need to keep your eyes open to them. So my message to the class of 19, very simple. Go for it. You're about to cast off into the unknown. Sometimes it can be very scary, but you've got great assets. An education at one of the best institutions you could get a degree from. You have families, and they're always going to have your back through thick and thin. So garner up the courage and the strength, put aside your doubts, take a chance. And if you do, it is my hope, it is my prayer, and indeed it's my confidence you will find true success and joy in life. To this great class of 2019, congratulations, good luck, Godspeed, and go for it.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Senator, for that very inspirational message to class 2019. We will now resume the awarding of the degrees. Please welcome Dr. Kathleen Roque, Dean of College of Health Sciences.
Okay, Madam President, will the candidates for the following degrees please rise? Baccalaureate degree of Professional Studies, Bachelor's degree of Science with a major in Health Information Management, Bachelor's degree of Science with a major in Community and Behavioral Health, Bachelor's degree of Science with a major in Nursing. Candidates, please move forward to be honored.
Stephanie Judith Quesnell. Brittany Beth DeRosa. Rebecca Dodge. Wendy Laurenti. Rebecca Willis. Emily Ann Garrigan. Kristen Marie Baker. Nicole Marie Hediger. Colin Michael Ward. John Matthew Ritchie. Erin Nicole Niemeyer. Staff Sergeant Christopher John Froyand. Hugh Richard Brown. Callie Maggiolino. Michaela Janey Clark. Eller Paw. Katrina Lee Hijack. Bharath Subramanian. God's Love Michelle Enty. Caitlin Brianna Shaver. Mackenzie R. Stevens. Shannon M. Givianzio. Betty Marie Parkman. Ruvim Karpovich. Ashley Ellis. Miriam Pepperine. Donna J. Hohal. Kevin Nicholas Kozinski. Bakyan V. Nugan. Alexandria Elise Lagata. Sarah Elizabeth Corey. Eliza Rachel Hammies. Megan Elizabeth Mahardy. Courtney Lynn Spost. Abigail Sarah Narkevich. Jordan Nicole Saul. Kristen Noel Duell. Cassandra Brooke Campion. Marina Kuzmich. Marina A. Polkovisky. Laura Kirsten McMillan. Mariah Angela Ashley. James Anthony Pollard.
Now please welcome noted alumna, Ms. Mary Kate Rove.
Today marks the completion of your studies and your start as a new degree holder. It is our hope that you will always be proud of SUNY Poly, just as we are proud of you, and that you will carry the name of this institution with you as you find success in the future. As students, you had the opportunity to shape the direction of SUNY Poly through the Student Association. As graduates, you can build on the SUNY Poly legacy through the Alumni Association. We hope you will become involved in the Alumni Association as it addresses alumni needs and help shape SUNY Poly in the years ahead. Will all graduates please rise? On behalf of the Alumni Association, I congratulate you on the completion of your courses and for receiving the degrees that you have earned. It is my privilege and honor to lead you in a tangible gesture that symbolizes your passage from the status of students to that of graduates and alumni. At this time, will you move the tassels on your cap from the right side to the left? Congratulations and welcome to SUNY Poly's alumni body.
To a reception in the Student Center.
I now declare the May 2019 commencement of the State University of New York Polytechnic Institute concluded. Will guests and visitors please remain standing at their seats until the recessional has been completed?